Inviting to the stage. I've actually been friends with for just short of 20 years, along with her husband Ian, who's sitting down there. This lady should have joined the business a long time ago, and I should think she's probably a little bit cross that I didn't really try to talk her into it more in the early days. But as we all know, and as Stab mentioned, and many other people have, the timing has to be right. This lady sparkles. She's got a great personality, and I'm going to invite her to the stage now. She's fun. She's effervescent. Kay Richards!
Imagine they're naked. Imagine they're naked. Imagine they're naked. And release. That feels much better. Much better. So, how did my utility warehouse journey start? I joined the business back in August 2018, and my background is in senior management. I used to be a manager for a concessions-based business that used to operate all over the UK and Ireland. But sadly, in the summer of 2017, my world was turned completely upside down. Essentially, I was made redundant 20 years to the day. Literally, the day. Congratulations, here's your prize. And that's what happened. So, as you can imagine, that was pretty devastating, to say the least. I just spiraled out of control. I wasn't interested in anyone or anything. And I was, for the first time in a long time in my life, in a really dark place. And I can tell you from my experience that when you've lost everything you've ever worked for in your career, and everything you ever knew and loved, it's terrifying. But what's even more scary is getting to the position where you've got no idea what you want to do next. It's actually even more frightening. So for the next 9-10 months, I did a great impression of a walking zombie. I literally wouldn't speak to anybody, very insular. And then one day, my good friend Mike Gregory called me, said, "Kay, can you come on over? I want you to look at this presentation." Well, I'm not doing anything, all right, may as well. Not realising it was the presentation. Anyway, I looked at the presentation, I said, "Yeah, it's great." Didn't sign up. Then he said to me, "Can you come to this ops night? Just have a look at it and give me your feedback. That's all I want, just give me your feedback." And if I'm honest, I really didn't want to go. As I say, I was in such a dark place mentally. I thought, I'll turn up, I'll support Mike because he's my friend, and I'll just smile sweetly at a few people, and the first opportunity I get, I'll run for the hills. That was always my intention. Anyway, I walked into the room and I was expecting it to be full of salesy, promotional events type people. And that was the biggest surprise. I'm sitting down and I thought, I'm sure she just said she was a nurse. He said he's a plumber. He's retired. She's a single mom. What the hell's going on here? And why is everybody so happy? It was bizarre. Anyway, as I listened to more and more people, and remember I was in a very negative mindset, listened to more and more people, I just thought, you know what? I felt different. I was starting to get a bit of fire back in my belly. And I looked around, I thought, you know, if you can do it, so can I. And that was a pivotal turning point for me, it really was. I still didn't join, by the way. It was probably 2 or 3 days later. I phoned up Mike, we met up, and then I signed on the dotted line. So fast forward, what's happened to us? In just under 12 months, we managed to reach TL. We're now sitting on a group customer base of 180 group customers. But you know what? There's one thing I'm far more excited about, which is for the first time, and this has happened only in the last 2 days, we've managed to break through and introduce our first team member into that group structure. And that is my friend and fabulous partner, Julie Ray, who became team leader 2 days ago. And again, look, we've qualified for the Hamper twice, Epsom twice. We will be meeting Frankie. Yeah. We're going to Cyprus in June, and we've qualified for the holiday of a lifetime to India in November, and we should be ordering the Mini in June, roughly. And the reality is, I didn't join this business for any of those things, but the reason I mention them, and as others have, is that you've got to realise what you've got here, guys. A year ago, I was sitting at the back and I heard people say a similar thing, and I thought, yeah, right, you can get those things. Well, I'm living proof that you can within those 12 months. So you really do need to grab on and realise the opportunity that you've got, which is essentially just by showing and helping people to save or make money. that the company is going to give you these kind of opportunities. I don't know any other company out there that gives you that. I really don't. And all you have to do to achieve these things is stay focused on your why. What are you doing the business for? My why is very simple. It's about life balance and freedom in my life. I used to work 60, 70 hours a week in an incredibly toxic, stressful situation, and I knew I never ever wanted to do that again. And I wanted to earn a full-time salary, but work part-time. And with the support with my husband Ian, that's exactly what we've been able to achieve. So how did we do this? Well, we started off with our warm list, signed up a few family and friends, not many to be honest, but then I'd say in the first year, probably 80%, 85% of our customers came directly from neighbour letters. I just did it. I thought, well, I seem to be okay at this, I'll just carry on doing it. But then as we started to get a few more partners on board, it dawned on me that not everybody's comfortable with neighbour letters, are they? And so I thought we've got to start to branch out here and look at different customer gathering methods. And so we did our first WAM after 5 months. And I think WAMs are great. It's good, safety in numbers a little bit. You can interact and catch up with members of your own team. But it's fun. We have an amazing fun time when we do WAMs. So I'm a big believer in WAMs. We then also gathered customers through referrals, and we got better at that, got a few more referrals. And then I joined a network group where we pass referrals between ourselves. And that really did take my business to another level. So the first bit of advice I'd probably give is try every different type of customer gathering, because you'll find the one that suits you and that you feel more comfortable with, and more importantly, that your team members feel more comfortable with. Because it's really, really difficult to try and replicate and copy what you're doing if your team members think the only thing that's available to them is essentially neighbour letters or potentially just WAMs. So let them find their own way of doing that. Another top tip would be have a goal. It sounds so obvious, doesn't it? There's an awful lot of people that don't even have a goal. And if you ever come across periods in the business where there's a lot of not for nows, it can affect your mentality. If you haven't got a goal, it's easy just to down tools and fade away into the background. If you've got a goal and you're still focused on it, you're more likely to persevere and succeed. The other one would be manage expectations. So not everybody signs up, do they? And that's okay. It happens to me, it happens to Dean, it happens to everybody. But don't take it personally. And I know that's so difficult, and particularly when you're brand new to the business, because you're so excited, aren't you, about the services and the product and the company, and you're just expecting everybody else to be equally as excited. And sometimes they don't sign up. They must have been dropped on their head as a baby. But don't be put off by that. I mean, a couple of months ago I went to see a customer, everything was going really well. We get to the Joanna Lumley slide. I introduce her, it's Joanna Lumley, our brand ambassador. I'm just about to press play, and this woman reacts as though she's been electrocuted. Hate her! I hate the woman. I've never liked her, and I never will. You know what we say in these situations? Next! So you see, even Joanna Lumley managed to lose a customer for me. And another point, I'm just a bit of a clock, another point I'd make is think about how many customers you want to gather every month and make sure that your activity levels marry up to that. I went through a bit of a lean patch where I wasn't getting the results. I started to get a little bit disheartened. And when I was honest with myself and looked at how many physical appointments I went and delivered that month compared to what I was hoping to gain, it was nowhere near enough. So I introduced something for me called Operation 24, which is very simplistic. Essentially, I try to gather 24 appointments every month. I work on a ratio of 2 to 1, so if I show 2 appointments, one of them signs up. And I'm hoping that 12 people say no to me, because the other 12 will say yes and get the target that I go for every month of 12 customers. I just have a very simplistic A4 sheet of paper, 1 to 12, and I write those customers down that say no or not for now, and then at the base, the customers that sign up and say yes. But importantly, I put the name, the date, and where they came from. Was it a neighbour letter? Was it from a WAM? Because they're great to look back on month, so you can really see what's working for you about where you get your customers from. So, and lastly, I'd say attend these events. We've spoken about it, haven't we, so much already this morning. They're so important. I can remember when Ian and I went to our first event, which was MAD in the September of 2008. And I don't think you really do understand what this business opportunity is until you go to these events. I really, really don't. And we sat there and we were like, what the hell is this? And look, they give you a purple flag. Ian, I think we'll stick around. It's one of my favourite colours. But remember, you've got an amazing business behind you. We're a massive family of Team Purple who we only want you to succeed. Remember that. We want you to succeed. Because being an ID sometimes, and I'm sure this resonates with a few people, can be quite lonely, can be quite isolating. But reflect back on the events and know what an amazing business that you have behind you. And remember that activity, and that's what it's all about, builds momentum, and momentum then brings consistent results. And if you are ever in a situation where you're having a bit of a bad run, maybe think of a mantra, something you say to yourself in your head to lift your spirits. Mine's very simple. Some will, some won't. So what? So thank you very much. By the way, can I just say you all look fabulous naked.
You record all of that? Yeah. Send it to me on WhatsApp. Okay, please. Brilliant.
Fantastic, hey, wasn't she brilliant? Great top tips, don't you all agree?